Hey, what's up, everyone? Nick here with AVP Underworld Episode 3, and this time I'm joined, of course, by Mr. H Reviews.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And actually, we have someone who's been long requested on this podcast finally joining us. We have Alien Theory.
Hey, guys, it's great to be here.
Yeah, and I guess before we get into the topics and stuff, do you want to tell people about, like, your channel, like, specifically Alien Theory, like, what you do on there and stuff like that?
Alien Theory, it's just theories and explanations of the alien universe. Started it up a few months ago and going pretty strong. I've been on YouTube for, about 6 years, but this one I just kind of started out of the blue and it just took off. It's been really overwhelming.
Wow, you sound like another YouTuber that I've heard of, like, who's been around for a long time, years and years.
Oh, yeah.
Do tell.
Okay, I guess we do have to address this because there have been a lot of requests for this other person to actually join the podcast. I just want to set the record straight, officially why we won't be associating with them. So there's a YouTuber named Acid Glow. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably familiar with his channel. He covers basically the same stuff we do.
Yeah, basically.
A lot of the times, actually, doing exactly the videos that we do, word for word.
Word for word. So, and thumbnail for thumbnail.
Stealing thumbnails, stealing thumbnail images.
And even imitating voices.
Yeah, stealing our voices. I mean, how dedicated you have to be to, Jesus. Voice, thumbnail, images, video titles. I mean, he's stolen from me before even Alien Theory and Mr. H started doing videos. Like last October and before that, he was stealing my titles word for word and stuff. So, I mean, that's just why I personally, and I'm pretty sure the guys feel the same way. I don't want to speak for them, but I'm pretty sure they don't ever want to really associate with Acid Glow. That's just all I'm going to say on the matter. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah. So just to answer that, just to squash that we won't be having him on the podcast. So
no,
never. It was kind of a weird thing, wasn't it? Like, slowly creeping up, you kind of notice these similarities that you can't really deny. It's like the same video, the same day, almost verbatim. And, the three of us, we all do kind of the same general type of thing, but of course we have our own different styles. But
Theory copies me all the time. Like, I don't care, but just
the first thing I do when I wake up, I check Hybrid Network, and I want to make sure that I copy the video exactly.
Yeah, remember that whole debacle over the swimmer alien and the aquatic xenomorph?
Even though they were separate xenomorph types, but they were both underwater, so.
But guys, you didn't explain that they were different. Come on now.
Well, I thought we did, but well, there's that. But you're going to get people who notice the similarities, but chances are we're going to step on each other's toes every so often. I mean, we just have our different styles about it, but
I actually
to have it so similar,
I got called out for copying you, actually, Nick, and I had to say, absolutely not. We make a podcast together, of course. Yes, we cover the. I know, it's a shocker. I was like, yes, we make similar content based on the same topics. So yes, we're going to cover like the news, but we don't have exactly the same opinion. We do differ on opinion and the way we convey things across. But when someone is copying you quite literally word for word and trying to imitate the way you sound, I mean, that's undeniable.
And Acid Glow's British accent is just terrible. He doesn't do it right.
Yeah.
No, remember, it's a xenomorph.
No, Yaut Chua.
Oh, yes. Yaut Chihuahua. Remember? Yaut Chihuahua.
Yaut Chihuahua.
That's what he said in one video.
But remember people called Mr. H, they called you out because you copied Alien Theory, apparently. Remember the whole xenomorphs eat and all that stuff? Or what is it?
What did you copy from me? What did you do? Tell me.
No, I didn't. This is the thing, right? So you did the video on... do xenomorphs need to eat, right? So I did a video on their blood, which actually I had an opposing theory from what you kind of proposed in your video that they eat. Basically, the proposing theory was that their blood, they essentially reside. They're kind of like a battery in essence, and that they don't eat. Basically, they're like a bio battery. So I mentioned that, and then I got called out saying I copied you. I was like, no, this is about their blood. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You never... Yeah.
Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Derek, you never called him out for that.
We're all copying one another,
well,
guys.
the video's coming. The Mr.
Alien
H
Predator
exposed.
circle jerk. Jesus.
But, I mean, for me personally, I'll say who I rip off right off the bat. I pretty much, for my videos, I'm ripping off those, the Star Wars explained. A million of them. Star Wars Explained, Fact Free. They have a million others. I can't
the Stupendous Wave.
The Stupendous Wave. That's the one. And
Star Wars Theory.
They all cover essentially the same type of
Dash
content.
Star.
But, it's in different ways. So that was kind of the format that I wanted to go with in terms of the Alien series. But I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to cover the same kind of topics. But to see a video that you watch it and you're like, oh yeah, is this my video? And you're like, wait, this isn't me talking. But these are the exact words I wrote. This is my thumbnail, actually. What's going on here? That it's a little too much, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't want this to be a hate fest or anything like that, but it is unfortunate. And we're not going to be having him on.
Don't worry, we've only gone on for 4 minutes talking about this,
and also
not that we have hard feelings whatsoever. I'm sure.
Oh,
just
no.
the closing thoughts on the matter, guys. If you're watching this and you think that potentially we're lying, please just go and look through his old videos, and just kind of line it up timeline wise for when myself and Alien Theory and also the Hybrid Network started to kind of do these explained things, and you'll notice that it does kind of tie in. Yes, the guy's been around for a little while, but he was not making these things at all. Okay?
No, he was doing gameplay stuff and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So. Anyway, the closing thoughts. There you go. And I missed the heads, guys.
Originally, all these videos kind of came almost at the same time. I think really what sparked the fire was the upcoming, at least at the time, Alien Covenant teaser. That's really what I think caused a lot of people to...
Yeah, it's all part of the viral marketing for the movie. It's all...
Exactly.
I'm getting my check from Fox.
Speaking of which, I'm so excited for that movie. What about you guys?
Get it back on
track. I was just saying how I just got my check, my monthly check from Fox, so yeah, I mean...
No, of course you did.
They pay well.
No, not that well, but yes, let's get out of the talk about our YouTube channels and stuff. So, before we do get into the main meat of this episode, we kind of want to briefly touch on some of the recent news that came out. So, Trevante Rhodes recently did an interview where he kind of talked about his experience with the Predator movies and his new character in the upcoming film, who he plays. Is called Nebraska Williams, and he's best friends with the character that Boyd Holbrook plays, named Quinn McKenna. Sorry. I mean, this basically confirms the plot leak that came out recently. Again, confirming it like twice now. So, Mr. H, what do you think about this stuff? What do you think about the Predator leaks, man?
Oh, Jesus. What do I think about the Predator leaks? Really, really good. It does just confirm. I mean, we'd already had it confirmed because they'd gone around and asked a bunch of the news outlets to take the leak down. So we knew that this was going to be the case anyway. But it also just adds to basically reinforcing what the rest of the leak actually said, and reinforcing that is potentially what is going to be the case as well. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it's good. I don't like his name. I think that's really silly, but yeah, whatever. I think it's pretty good, to be honest. I mean, Rhodes apparently does go on to say that Black is putting his own distinct imprint on the franchise. It's what you expect from a Shane Black movie to be, set in the world of the Predator. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, if we look back at what Shane Black last did, and then try and superimpose that on a Predator film, that's interesting, I think.
So it'll be the nice guys with a big Predator running around.
Yeah. Well, no, but you know what I mean, in that kind of vein, in that style. I mean, it's interesting.
That sounds good. I mean, that's good with me. It'll be a fun R-rated Predator movie. Alien Theory, any thoughts? I know you don't really do Predator videos on your channel, so...
I mean, I would say the leak is somewhat legitimate, like in generally what the plot is, but it sounds okay, but the name, like, it sounds almost like Tim Thundergun or something like that, a really cheesy action
name. John Magnum.
There you go. And I think we do need kind of like the stereotypical action kind of characters, which kind of seems where they're going with this. and kind of Shane Black style could be good. I mean, he knows kind of the genres to play with, and that's, to me, what the Predator series has always been about. Because Predator, it's basically Commando, but with an alien, which is pretty awesome. Predator 2, I guess kind of ironically now, it's basically Lethal Weapon, but with a Predator. So if we can do that once again, you know, the Nice Guys, or what was the other Shane Black movie? Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But set that kind of in the Predator universe and do this kind of genre thing, almost like a guerrilla warfare. Well, it's supposed to be, he's bringing it more towards this, I don't know what kind of genre it would be, but like a DEA kind of narcotics. What is the character? He's a mercenary of some kind, or what exactly is the lead?
Yeah, I think all of the main like cast of characters are all going to be like kind of on this special forces team that like tracking down the predators or something.
Yeah, so something like that. So I can see it kind of be like Sicario, but with a predator. So I think that could be kind of cool. I just hope Shane Black kind of eases down a little bit on, you know, the zingers, which kind of ruined Iron Man 3 for me. It was a little too wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But if we can keep it kind of grounded, kind of action-oriented, manly, I think it would be pretty good.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, I'm excited, obviously, for the movie. I can't wait to see more from it. And they're currently shooting right now in Canada, as far as I know, Vancouver. So, hopefully it all goes well.
I'll have to visit. That's where I live.
Oh, really?
Well, not Vancouver, but in Canada. They just the 51st state, right?
Okay. Yes. Yep. So, I mean, we're also not going to really get any trailers or anything for this movie probably till like later on in the year.
It's going to be well after Alien Covenant. They want to give that a wide berth because they're both Fox properties. So
yeah. So hopefully it all works out. But you know, speaking of Alien Covenant, actually, recently reports came out that Ridley Scott is gearing up to do Alien Covenant 2 already,
right on.
The sequel. I mean, it seems like he's got some kind of trilogy mapped out finally for this franchise, for the prequel series, because, you know, after Prometheus, it kind of took them a while to figure out where to go next in terms of like the actual prequel-ness of this franchise. Hopefully, you know, it works out in terms of leading into the original film and kind of explaining questions that people have about, you know, the engineers, the xenomorphs' origins and things like that. But, you know, Alien Theory, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm ecstatic. You know, if we can get as many Alien movies as possible, I'm happy. You know, there was a wide gap between Prometheus and Covenant. It was 5 years, right? Yeah. So if we can have one, if we can do the Star Wars thing, which is kind of what they seem to want to do, if we can have one almost every year, that'd be amazing. And whatever he has mapped out, Ridley Scott, you know, I kind of trust that he's, I don't know, sometimes he borders on crazy, wacky Ridley Scott, which is fine.
Yeah, like that video, remember, from the Prometheus behind the scenes?
Yes, like the commentaries where he just goes off. Like, I can do whatever I want, guys. I have films in the Library of Congress. I've been in this industry forever. Just don't question me, okay? And fine, I won't question him too much. But
yeah, that's in his commentary for Prometheus.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's well worth just sitting back and enjoying. But I think they've learned from Prometheus quite a bit, kind of testing what works with the core fans and general audiences, because there's going to be people walking into Alien Covenant. They've never seen an Alien movie before. They don't even know it's connected to Prometheus. So if they can kind of establish this known universe, that it is the brand that it is, I think that's the direction they want to go, and the recognition is probably going to be its strength, I think.
Yeah, especially having Alien in the title again for this movie.
Yeah, keep the brand, I think, or even like an Alien story or something like that.
An Alien story? Oh no!
There you go.
No, please
Rogue
no.
One, an Alien story.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, Mr. H, what do you think about this? I mean, he's mapping out the franchise here. We got this prequel going on.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, I'm assuming you guys both know that he apparently sat down and wrote a 10-page Alien Bible with Fox as well, outlining kind of the do's and don'ts of the universe, right, moving forwards.
Yeah.
But then also there's on spoiler-free moviesleuth.com, there was a quote by him saying that he's apparently, I'm not going to close it down again, no way. Allegedly, there's no end in sight for the Alien franchise moving forwards. That's a direct quote, guys.
That's what I love to. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great though, isn't it? I mean,
he's going to be 80 this year.
I know, crazy. Sir Ridley Scott, bless you. But no, I mean, I think it's genuinely great news. I think it's great that they're taking it seriously. The first two movies, and a lot of people don't like the third one, but you know, at least the first three movies, you know, they made sense. They were coherent with one another. Obviously, opinions divide, and I think moving forwards, you know, the fact that he has already written this, you know, or it's ready to go anyway, and that he sat down with Fox, I think it speaks volumes on how serious that they're taking it. And it also seems like they're doing it in the same vein as Marvel, you know, having a well mapped out and well thought out, you know, kind of set of guidelines and boundaries for the universe, so you don't end up with, you know, something like Bloody Resurrection or, you know, potentially the AVP movies, which are not well loved. But yeah, I think it's great news, basically.
Or you don't end up something like Predators, the Rodriguez film.
I quite like that. I genuinely quite like that film.
But yeah, like you said though, that the fact that they have like a little Bible that's like telling everything about the universe, like that definitely seems like they're leaning towards the whole cinematic, you know, connectedness or whatever. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it's cool.
Said this on...
Also, we had the Neil Blomkamp movie too that got canceled. So,
well, apparently as part of this Alien Bible that was mentioned, and apparently it's not canned. That was allegedly Neil Blomkamp just pout. That was him just pouting. Apparently it's not canned yet, but when directors go to, you know, public social medias like that and say things like that, it's highly unlikely they're going to come back. Look at what happened with bloody Josh Trank. So
I try not to. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, you know, he's an example. He's a prime example. He just he didn't know when to shut his mouth, and he has not received work since. He's not directing. He's not slated for anything at all. In fact, he was set to be like a co-writer on a film. That was all. He won't be directing for a fair while because he didn't know when to shut his mouth. And sadly, Neil Blomkamp has done, you know, something similar. We don't know how serious Fox will take it, but you know, it'll be interesting to see.
Okay. All right. So, I guess before we move on to the discussion about the Alien Covenant newest trailer, we should mention that there is going to be a new promo talking about Walter and kind of introducing his character in more depth, hopefully, which comes out Friday? No. Yes, Friday, March 10th, right? As of this, you know, when this episode goes live, it'll already be out, and we'll probably all have videos about it or something on our channels. But I just did want to mention that really quickly. So, moving on, though, the meat of this episode, we're going to talk about Alien Covenant, the newest trailer that shows the whole movie. Yay. But
well, I hope not.
Yeah. No, not the whole movie, but a lot of stuff in there, a lot of the aliens and stuff. So, yeah, just I guess first impressions, Mr. H, what did you think of this trailer, like scaled up against the other stuff that we got?
Yeah, well, I mean, I opened up my trailer breakdown with, oh my god, it was an insane trailer for me. I can't count how many times I've watched it since. It hyped me up beyond belief. It's a very, very well cut trailer. You know, I still don't really know what's going on in the film. Yes, it does appear that they've kind of hit it beat for beat on, you know, like a first act, second act, and third act, which tends to be what trailers do these days. But they haven't really given anything away. You know, I still don't know what those engineers are, or whether they're engineers. I don't know whether David's in it, or, you know, it doesn't really reveal much. It just makes you super amped for the film. I absolutely loved it. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Alien Theory, what'd you think of this newest trailer?
Oh, it was awful. I hated it. No. Oh, it was great. Yeah. I loved it. Oh my god, those were my first three words too. It really had me hyped up. And after the teaser, I thought it was good. It was a well-made teaser, had me intrigued, had me interested, but it didn't have that, you know, the fanboy inside of me fist pumping. But this trailer did, really intense, and we actually get to see the xenomorphs. We know they're there, or protomorphs, however you want to classify them, but I think we get a better idea of what this movie is going to be about and what its general tone is, and I'm incredibly excited.
Yeah, there still are a lot of questions about the movie too. I mean, like, a lot of people are still debating, whether Shaw's in the movie or not, obviously from Prometheus, or just exactly what has happened in the 10 years on, the engineer world since Prometheus, because according to the official synopsis, David is the sole survivor that's, just hanging out on that planet, so...
I'm curious that we're not seeing too much of him. Yeah, we see maybe a quick glimpse of him in that trailer, so that's piqued my interest quite a bit. What's he been up to?
Yeah. I think he's just barbecuing and just watching cable and stuff. And
sculpting engineers.
Yeah. Average, everyday stuff. What do you guys think of the... I just wanted to mention, too, what do you guys think of the CGI? Because a lot of people are complaining that the aliens are, like, all CGI in the trailer, but I think it looks fine.
But they're not all CGI. These people are complaining about something that's simply not true. The xenomorph that you see at the end, whether you call it a protomorph or a xenomorph, that is motion capture. That's an actual man. His arms are that long. So, what are you talking about? Yes, it's got CGI like rendered over the top, but that's motion capture. And the effects, you can't be sure whether the effects are actually finalized and finished. And even if they are, the design of the xenomorph might be different simply because it's not a standard xenomorph. So I don't really understand why people are all that up in arms about it.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, we know that there is going to be some legit suit work still in the movie, like practical.
Yeah, the guy was an Australian dancer, wasn't it? Came out recently.
Yeah, so I don't know. People just want to complain, like, oh, it's not like the old movies, and not a guy in a suit running around.
What you want to get someone on a bloody soundstage and attach them to some floating, some floating prop and get them flailing around in the sky? How badly would that look? Come on.
I think we're a little bit spoiled as audiences. We've seen it all. Exactly. We've seen the greatest special effects. We kind of cross our arms and think, what do you got to show me? This needs to be the best, most photorealistic thing ever. But you compare it to the CGI in Alien Resurrection. This is masterful work. This deserves an Academy Award. You know what I mean? And
compared to Cameron's Aliens, the guys in the suits.
Well, that was done. I mean, you look at a shot, when Ripley is in the hive, and we see that shot that's cut into like 3 different angles of the alien jumping from one side of the hive to the next, and you see that all in one shot coming at you in the Covenant trailer. And think of how far we've come and how advanced technology is, where you don't have to use those trick angles, which work splendidly in Aliens, but it can do anything now. It can work. You don't have to hide it. Not that you should show it in full force, but it can do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
Any movement, any
crazy
actions
well,
it can.
And as well, like, people are all up in arms about the CGI, but I don't hear anyone complaining about the Juggernaut and how that looks. The Juggernaut in the forest on the hill looks absolutely spectacular. I'm pretty sure they're not walking up to a gigantic Juggernaut.
Oh no, they made that in like a few months. They just sculpted that together and just put that in New Zealand. It was in the jungle. They just found it. Yeah.
Did they?
It was there.
Did they really?
It was real.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they?
Also, too, the dropship CGI. Remember that little lander that they come in on?
Exactly. Yeah, but part of that was practical, though.
Yeah, that part, like the lower half was real, but then, but even the top of it looks real. I mean,
yeah, people are, like you say, Mr. Theory. That
yeah, Mr. Theory. That's how you
please. Mr. Theory is my dad's name. You can call me Derek.
All right, Derek. I'm not used
Theory
to
Junior.
I'm not used to first names, Nick. So yeah, I think you put it completely correct. We're just spoiled, and I think just take a step back and just appreciate it for what it is. I mean, I think it's going to be really, really...
Also, I want to touch on, too, the neomorphs, because we finally get to see a little teeny one in the trailer. He's a little baby still. But, I mean, that's our first glimpse at what they're going to look like. They have, like, the little clear skin, tails, and spikes on their back, elongated head. They look a lot like the beluga xenomorph from the Prometheus scrapped concept. So,
but I mean, is that a baby, Nick? I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Is that a baby one? Is that fully grown?
I think it's a little one. I don't think it's fully grown yet. It looks kind of small. It was like the size of a dog, I think, in the trailer, right?
Yeah, it reminded me of like a spider monkey, the way it was kind of flailing around.
Yeah, Alien Theory or Derek, what are your thoughts on the little neomorph?
Honestly, with just that one kind of quick shot of it terrifies me. I'm gonna have nightmares about that thing, and I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna grow a little bit more, but it looks like a rabid kind of beast. That just scares the hell out of me. I think it's gonna be the one part of the movie everyone talks about.
Yeah, when that guy's back bursts open.
Ugh. Well, yeah,
that's what I love. They're still coming up with crazy shit that terrifies people, like the trilobite removal in Prometheus. I remember seeing that in 3D, first day, IMAX, what have you. I was cringing. I was covering my eyes. The fact that they can still do that when this franchise has been around since '79, I mean, they're still coming up with really creepy stuff.
Yeah, I remember when I cringed while I was watching Alien Resurrection, but that wasn't because anything was scary.
Different reasons.
Because the movie was bad.
I can get you off, maybe not the boat.
Like when the general gets his head bitten out and he looks at it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta check, just to be sure.
That shit. No, but yeah, I don't know. In terms of like my thoughts on the neomorphs, I think they're going to be really cool. And there was that rumor that one of them will fight a xenomorph at some point in the movie.
They're going for the Jurassic World kind of thing.
Yeah, is that like moving into a Jurassic monster movie trope or something? Like,
what was that thing called? The Abdominus Rex or whatever it was.
Indominus?
Indominus. The big scary dinosaur is what it was. The big fake clone dinosaur. I'd love to see that. I want to see a showdown.
The neomorph versus the xenomorph?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay.
That
surprises me.
Yeah, it seems like the neomorph doesn't have any biomechanical E-ness to it. It's just like a fleshy. Just the tone of this movie, it does look a lot better than Prometheus to me. I don't know. Because I wasn't really a fan of Prometheus in terms of just the movie overall. I know Alien Theory really liked it, so...
Oh yeah, I love Prometheus. If this can... I think it's having its cake and eating it too by... people have said it's sort of a soft reboot, which I can kind of sort of understand, but obviously it is a direct story to Prometheus, but again, they're kind of learning things from Prometheus, what works with the fans, and to have a movie that really does something different in the genre, I think is... something not to be taken for granted,
Yeah, I think unfortunately Fox is quite a reactionary studio, and learning from the fans is not necessarily always the best way to go, which does concern me a little bit, because there's that famous quote from Ridley saying, you want aliens, I'm going to give you fucking aliens, which is excuse my language, but do you know what I mean? You can't serve the story, man. Don't just change things for the sake of changing things. That's the only thing that concerns me, is that yes, the rumor going around that it's a soft reboot and they're chucking all these aliens in now, and if that wasn't originally the way it was going to go, is it necessarily going to be the best thing to move forward? I mean, obviously we have to wait and see, but I think that's just worth mentioning. That's all.
Well, yeah, I hope we get kind of the best of both worlds, keeping kind of the themes of Prometheus, the general tone of Prometheus, which I liked. I don't know what the main gripe with Prometheus in terms of...
why did they take off their helmets and stuff? And they got lost in the temple and
running
all
in a
crap,
straight line.
Running in a straight line, all that.
I think in a larger scope of things, because when it came out, I don't think people quite knew what it was. Like right from the very beginning, Ridley Scott said, "This is not an Alien prequel. You will recognize strands of alien DNA," which I guess is kind of a clever.
What does that even mean? The DNA of Alien that sounds so pretentious. Like,
well, that's Ridley Scott, or Ridley. Or are we calling him Ridley Squad?
That's Damon Lindelof.
Podcast? I don't know. Maybe, yeah. And I think the main gripe was it didn't connect directly, but we're setting up something more than just one movie. So I think people kind of had the impression that going into it, just this one single movie would directly tie into Alien. But we're getting something more than that. We're getting something better, which I'm thrilled about. And Prometheus, for me, it stands alone as its own movie, great. and I think as part of the overall Alien universe, I think it's worthy. But yeah, I do want to see xenomorphs. I want to see alien carnage, and I hope we get kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I want to see AVP again, like a new movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a reattempt at that. Just completely disregard those other two masterpieces.
What? Why would they disregard them if they're masterpieces?
I don't know. Sometimes you gotta, break an egg to make an omelet.
All right.
I don't know. I'm mixing my metaphors here. Sometimes you gotta mix strands of DNA to make engineers.
To make nothing. To get nowhere.
Big things have small beginnings.
God damn it.
I don't.
No more Prometheus. No. Alright. So is that all our thoughts on the trailer? Any final thoughts on the newest Alien Covenant trailer? Like hopes for the movie in general? Mr. H, anything?
Hopes for the movie? Hopes for the movie. I just want it to be really, really good. And I want it to... look, me and you especially, Nick, we've done many video, on theories and stuff surrounding Prometheus.
Too many.
I wouldn't say too many. I would like them to answer some of the questions. I know, famously people like to leave some of the questions unanswered, and that does work because for some franchises the air of mystery is what captivates the audiences. Unfortunately, Prometheus wasn't such a film. It did leave some questions that did really require answering. So if they don't answer those questions, I'll be quite disappointed. But I am, I'm hopeful for it. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously I wouldn't make these bloody videos otherwise. So, I'm massively looking forward to it, and I just hope they deliver. And I'm really, really keen to see what David's been up to. I broke down the Red Band trailer, pointing out the whole thing of, Michelangelo's David statue, which I think is a massively, massively important piece of symbolism. But I'm not sure if anyone, shares my thoughts on that. So
yeah, Alien Theory. Any thoughts on Alien Covenant? What do you want to see most out of the movie and stuff like that? Or
well, with all the xenomorphs, protomorphs, belugamorphs, whatever, none of it means all that much, I think, without the appropriate human anchors to this story. And I hope we get some good acting out of the cast. It's a fantastic cast.
Yeah.
But when I've seen the Last Supper trailer, or mini short, whatever you want to call it, I did notice the acting was a little bit off in a way, just because I think it was improvised for the most part, which Alien was to begin with, so they're kind of keeping in that tradition. But I hope we have something convincing in the performances, because otherwise it really is just, all flash, right? I am intrigued by Danny McBride, actually, who... he's more of the comedic kind of actor, but he's doing something serious here, which I'm intrigued by. I love when we get stuff like that, and he seems like he's going to be kind of an integral part to it, like him with Daniels, which I'd assume is somewhat in the climax of the movie, right? Him helping her out, and he has these dramatic shots of him kind of glaring in disbelief at certain things. So that's one thing I'm really interested in him not just being kind of the comedic character, because I think that can work, because I've heard a lot of comments from people who are saying, oh, why is Danny fucking McBride in this? Why is James Franco in this? This is Pineapple Express 3 or something.
No, we need Seth Rogen to cameo at the end.
Oh, if like, just at the end, say the last survivor is, I don't know what
he comes out of the hidey hole. He's the last one.
No, last survival is Daniels. She writhes in pain. Chest burster comes out of her, and it's Seth Rogen. And he's just like,
just his head.
Hey, guys. And that's the end of the movie. That'd be great. But, that's kind of a moot point, because in Aliens, we had Paul Reiser, and he was a comedic... He was a stand-up comedian, so he had everyone knows him from Aliens, unless you are like a big Mad About You fan. But
yeah, Bill Paxton, he was the comedic guy in there too.
Yeah, and he was perfect. So if we can get something good about this cast and something that feels legitimate, that's what I love about the Alien series. We have legitimate acting. The acting in Alien 79 is perfect. I think you really believe that group is being hunted by this creature and is desperate to destroy this creature. So if we can carry on that specific tradition, I think we're going to have a great movie.
I agree. Yeah. That's my thoughts. Yeah. The only thing that I'm just realizing too is how this movie is gonna end on a huge cliffhanger for the next one. They gotta reel you in for these next movies. This is only part 1, guys, so just be prepared for that cliffhanger.
Prometheus had the deacon, so that was kind of a cliffhanger. We're like, what's going on with that? So if it's not...
He died.
Oh, well, great.
He just kind of hung out and, died, so...
Well, not in Prometheus Fire and Stone, he didn't.
Oh yeah, he became a mountain. That was his fate.
Well, no, I made that video and I got so much hate for it, saying, "Oh, I became a fucking mountain." Blah, blah. Look, guys, I said in the video it's inferred that he became a mountain. It's not confirmed. It's just inferred. Jesus.
Yeah, I also too want to just in terms of the whole mountain thing in the Prometheus Fire and Stone comic. So apparently they had plans to make the Deacon grown up in the comic book, but Fox said no, so they had to do the mountain thing. So
yeah, so you can blame Fox for that, all right?
Yep.
Not me or not Nick. You can blame Fox.
No, blame Astiglow.
Yeah, that's better.
So, last segment of the show, we want to answer your viewer questions. So thank you guys again for submitting these. A lot of them are fairly old, actually, from episode 1. So. Almost like a month ago. So thank you guys for sticking out, and we will finally answer your questions, your burning questions that you had for us. So, first up here we have from Dominic Dotzler. He says, "What's your favorite Alien comic? Mine is Labyrinth." That's a good one. I'm not sure. Alien Theory, what's your favorite Alien comic?
You know what? I do actually have to go with Labyrinth too. It's kind of its self-contained thing, and we get to see more explanation, like as someone who picks apart the xenomorphs in these videos and what their biology is, what their life cycle is, to have the focus of that in the comic, and with Dr. Church, who is an incredible maniacal evil character. There's so much great stuff in that run. That's, I don't know. I'm hesitant to say it's my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. And I find when I'm doing a video, if I need to reference something from that particular comic, and then say I'm looking for pictures or anything like that, screen grabs, put them in the video, I just end up stopping and reading it all over again. So it has that power to kind of come back to it, which not a lot, there's some good comics overall, but none that kind of captures you that same way.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. H, what's your pick for favorite Alien comic?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've got a few. One of my favorites is the Aliens Earth War, but recently, and I guess it kind of counts as an Alien comic, but I picked up the those that follow me on Twitter will know, because I tweeted out a picture of my bedtime reading. It was the Fire and Stone collection. What a massive an amazing tome of a book that thing is. It's huge. It's going to take me a little while to get through it, but I'm really, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it very, very much. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that, to be honest.
Okay.
What about yourself?
I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna say Aliens Genocide is one of my favorite ones. It might not be my absolute favorite either, but I really like the story just because. Two alien factions fighting each other is awesome. And we'll never see that on film, god damn it. So that makes me so depressed that we'll never see anything that out there in a movie.
Well, what about the Neo and Xenomorph in Alien Covenant, apparently? So.
But it's not the same. It's not the same as
true.
a red and black alien fighting each other. So, yeah. Next up, Axel Alien says, "What's your favorite Predator mask?" Mr. H, what's your pick?
Mine, I really, really, really like the Ancient Predator's mask in the original Aliens vs. Predator PC game. So AVP 2 had an expansion pack called Primal Hunt. And I really like that one. I thought it was badass. And if I had to choose a different one from that, just the original Jungle Hunters. It's iconic.
Alien Theory, any thoughts? Favorite biomask?
Oh, well, I guess the original is my favorite. Again, I'm not specifically into the Predators. I'd say the original mask is kind of the most iconic to me. One thing I do like is my own creation, the human mask that is a human face. I'll reveal something here that I've never talked about before. Way back in the day, we're talking 17 years ago at this point. I put up an Alien fan page on Angel Fire, called it Derek's Alien Page, and I'd host these mods, these skins for the Alien vs Predator PC game, right? So you just go in there and edit and do whatever you want. So I made a human masked predator, which was so lame and so stupid, but if you search for Derek's Alien Page, you'll find some very cringy fanboying from early 2000 that you can find all my mods there. You can still download them if you have the game on your PC. So the human masked predator is my favorite, my own creation.
Yeah, I'm gonna download those later and play it.
Please do.
Yeah. I think mine is Serpent Hunter, dude. He's my favorite aspect of the whole franchise. So awesome. I got the figure on pre-order too.
He's an actual predator.
He's a male. He's 7'4" male. I think other than him though, I think Celtic has a cool mask too. But
yeah, Celtic stemmed from the Guardian in Predator 2, so basically Predator 2 Guardian.
Yep. So next question, Mad Eye Studio says, what has Ridley Scott got in his mind for the Alien universe that stopped Alien 5 from happening? Oh, geez. I mean, I guess this whole prequel trilogy, right? I mean, that kind of, I guess, interfered with his plans. He didn't want anyone else making movies. He's like, nope, it's off limits.
Yeah, I think he just didn't want anything to interfere with it. And then also you got to remember, unfortunately, this news came out around the time that Chappie was released, and Chappie did not make an awful lot of money and was not critically received. So, you know, it'll all have tie-ins to one another, but mainly just because Ridley didn't want anything overshadowing his work, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Any other thoughts? I think that's basically just the gist of it. Also, it would have been kind of confusing if Alien 5 came out, because you would have had Covenant, and then a year later been like, wait, what's up with this? Why is Ripley and Hicks alive? What? So it would have been too confusing, I think, the whole retcon aspect. But anyways, moving on. Eric says, do you think we'd ever get TV shows about the franchise, or maybe animated shows? What stories could they tackle? I think they could do an anthology series based on predators appearing in different periods of history and adapt those comics where they fight pirates and everything. I mean, yeah, I'd say yes, do it. Alien Theory, what do you think about getting TV shows based on this, or animated shows?
The more the better, I think. In kind of a half-serious way, I would love to see an animated sitcom about Hudson's Bar, which is a topic I'm very interested in. I don't know.
You should make a video about that, Hudson's Bar.
I should.
Yeah.
Or if like anyone listening has like animation skills, let's get to work on something. Like make it like a cheesy 80s sitcom where he owns a bar, he survived aliens, and you know, he has the catchphrases like "Game over, man" and stuff like that, and he's just trying to keep it up and keep it running. Maybe there's a health inspection on the way, and just at that time, as sitcoms work, there's a xenomorph infestation, and he has to hide it from the health inspector, and it's very funny and wacky. And maybe Ripley guest stars and have the big applause when she comes. I don't know. I would be fascinated.
You could even have fun guest stars like Jones the cat.
Anything, like have Newt like washing the dishes in the back, something like that. I'm like dead serious. I would love to see it, like a comedy version. You know how like Robot Chicken does like the funny stuff of Star Wars or the Batman series or whatever. A comedy version set in the Alien universe. I would love that. If someone wants to make it, please let me know.
All right, Mr. H, any thoughts about shows in the Alien and Predator franchises?
To be honest, I don't like the idea of them watering down you know, the kind of quality for these kind of shows. It's difficult to say. I don't think it would work with Aliens. For some reason, I think it could work for Predators a little bit more than it could for Aliens. But I just think as well, you go into the realm of it being, you know, not R-rated, and you know, these things are R-rated. They have to be. So like, who are you making that thing for, basically?
What if you take it to like a Netflix or HBO or something, or?
But then you could do it, you know, live action, because an actual TV show Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely they could. Well, like 100%. Especially with the Predators, because they're mainly practical and, you don't have to use such an array of CG with them. I think Predators would work. Aliens could definitely work in live action as well. But animated, no, I don't like that.
There was that cancelled cartoon, Operation Aliens. That would have been fun to see.
Who did they make that for?
I think it was geared towards the Kenner audience.
No, I know, but I mean...
I think it still would have been fun, even if it was not R-rated. I think it would have been cool just to see the Kenner aliens come to life in a show like that, like an animated thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But so yeah, that's to answer your question, Eric. Yes, it would be cool. But moving on, Jason 1980 says, "Do you think we will ever see a Praetorian or any of the other xenomorph types seen in the comics on film?" I sure hope so. Alien Theory, any thoughts on this? I know you do all these type of breakdowns on different xenomorph types.
Under Ridley Scott, absolutely not. He's not into that. He wants to do his own thing, but once he kind of runs his course, and if there's still demand for the franchise, which I hope there will be, if it remains popular, which, again, I hope it is, I think we will. Maybe not in the immediate future, but I would have hope for one day on my 50th birthday going to see a movie with alien Praetorians, and I'll be very happy.
That could even be in the new AVP reboot with the Colonial Marines throwing a Praetorian.
Wouldn't that be so cool? Like, think about the AVP movies we have and how disappointing they were. If you've played the games for hours on end, like myself, like Mr. H, I'm sure you've done, what a massive disappointment. I mean, they have their values. The first one, at least, maybe AVPR, not so much. And the Predalien in that was okay. But we need something exactly like the games in a film form. What we get, the Colonial Marines, the Praetorians, the Predaliens, everything like that. I do hold out faith that one day we'll have kind of a more direct capture of that spirit, which, we might see. Who knows?
Mr. H, what do you think about that? What xenomorph type would you like to see? The Killer Crab?
In moving forward?
Yeah.
The Praetorian, I think, deserves to be in a movie. If anything deserves to be in a movie, it's the Praetorian. I think it's been shown numerous times throughout throughout the expanded universe, and I think it's a great addition. It also kind of solidifies the life cycle potentially of the xenomorph that was a common theory going around. So I'd really like to see a Praetorian, basically.
All right, last question from Drac. He says, would a Predator game based off Concrete Jungle and the recent Batman games be a cool idea? Yes, it would be.
Definitely.
Like, imagine a Predator game based off the Arkham Batman games.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Amazing. Yes.
Have there been any singular Predator games where you're just the Predator? Not that I can think of.
Yeah, Concrete Jungle.
Yeah, that's the only one.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
But that was a third-person game, too, kind of like that. It was a third-person kind of action game. So I'm surprised they haven't done any new ones at all. Just the most recent one is just the AVP 2010. But, man, they need to do more games. More Alien Predator games. We need more. We need everything in this universe.
It's been a while since Isolation.
It has. That will bring this episode to an end. This has been AVP Underworld Episode 3. And again, I was joined by Alien Theory.
3, 2, 1. It's been great.
It's been great. And Mr. H Reviews.
Yeah, guys. Good to be back on the podcast.
Yeah. Where can people find you at on Twitter, or YouTubes, and all that?
Well, you can find me at Mr. H Reviews on Twitter, and obviously Mr. H Reviews on YouTube, and also I'm a fairly float around Hybrid Networks comment section occasionally as well. Just hassling.
Okay. All right. Alien Theory, where can people find you? Social media, YouTubes, and all that?
Oh, gosh. You can find me everywhere. Alien Theory, YouTube, Alien Theory YT, Facebook, at Alien_Theory, Twitter. If you want to see my other stuff, hi, this is Derek237 on YouTube and Derek237.com.
All right. Awesome. So thank you guys again for checking this episode out. And if you want to get your questions answered on the next episode, leave them down below with the hashtag AskAVPUnderworld. And we will catch you guys next time.